Hi, I'm Kathryn Troutman. I'm author of Stars Are Lined Up for Military Spouses. And this is a updated curriculum just today because of the disappearance of PPP-S and the new focus on USA jobs and 13473. Today is Saturday, and it is June 9th, 2018. So 7 hours later, I'm doing this recording because I want to talk it through and see how it sounds. So here I go, and it's going to be about 35 minutes. So the stars are lined up for military spouses on USA jobs because of military spouse preference. And we're going to talk about that preference in the little green widget. This is me. I'm the author and the curriculum developer. We've got a really nice book also with the same title with 5 sample federal resumes for spouses in it, so it's really good. Bobbi Rossiter is the STARS instructor who teaches this most frequently all around the place, and you'll see pictures here. She was at ACS in Fort Rucker just last week, and Mike Kozlowski there he's a voiceover for our 10-step videos, by the way. That's the guy with the beautiful voice. This is my favorite place to teach. Who wouldn't, right? Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. What a nice class. I go there every year. And also Fort Huachuca, I'm going again this year, and I was there last year. Annie Marshall had a great big class. And Henderson Hall, both Bobbi and I were teaching. Camp Pendleton. Oh, I missed my picture with Milden Hall. I need to add that. And then this is Richmond, Virginia. So this is a popular curriculum that spouses do want federal jobs now. So we're there. So now the agenda of this webinar is 2 parts, really. Federal employment information for spouses, and the stars are lined up with MSP on USA jobs. And here we go. So first of all, there are a lot of federal jobs on military installations. Look at this. I had to do a FOIA to DOD to get this information, and here it is. So some bases, of course, have way more GS jobs than others. So if you happen to get stationed at Fort Meade or the Pentagon or Bethesda, boy, oh boy, that's your opportunity to go fed. So pay attention to this. The benefits for federal jobs are so good. That's why the veterans want these federal jobs, right? And the spouses need them too, because you get leave and paid holidays, telework. The benefits are incredible. That's why everybody wants a federal job. So it's worth it, and really good for families too, because people work as teams in the government. So if you have to miss a day, you know, the place doesn't fall apart. Childcare is very flexible for that. And what a thought of having a retirement for you, right? You could, if you got in the government, that would be awesome. These are the average grades that spouses come in as. Average is the final column over there, 51%, GS 5 to 8. That's because you're just coming into government for the first time, and then you can move up from there. And a lot of federal jobs don't require a degree, which is kind of amazing. People don't know that. They think they have to get a degree or a master's degree. You don't. The 300 series jobs don't require a degree to walk in the door. These are the salaries. This is kind of interesting. The GS schedule does not include locality pay. So look at this, for instance, GS7 in DC with locality pay starts at $45,900, and the GS7 regular is $35,800. So a lot of cities have locality pay. If you look at the regular GS schedule, you can add that locality pay, which is pretty darn awesome. At $10,000 is a lot. The GS scale is here. It's very transparent. That's the thing I like about government, is that they're so clear with their salaries. So a GS7 is $35,800. This is regular GS, not locality pay. The 9 is $39,000. So there you have it. Usually people start at the GS1. If you're going back to school and you want to qualify on a new degree, this is it here. Bachelor's degree gets you in as a 5, a master's gets you in as a 9. Now, what is a competitive federal resume? And this is big. People do not know that the federal resume is longer than private sector, 3 to 5 pages long. It has to match the announcement. It's got to include some accomplishments if you want to stand out. The employment section has to be in reverse chronological order, and this information here has to be put in the resume. So it is way different than that 2-page resume. And the work experience section is what's most important. The duties and accomplishments is what the HR person is going to look at to determine if you're qualified for a certain position. And you can write your resume ahead of time. You don't have to wait for the perfect USA Jobs announcements. You can look at the OPM class standards and read about the positions and match your resume to this. And then when the announcement comes out, you're ready to go. And the best resume format was created by me. Yeah, it was really. 1996, the Federal Resume Guidebook. Yep, I wrote the first book ever on federal resume writing, and I created the format, and now it's in the 6th edition, and is really good. So this is the format you need to use. And this is it right here. This is what it looks like. You start with the outline of some all cap words. There they are: pay administration, investigations, and then you fill in some content. And there's the rest of it: data, records, and then a key accomplishment. This is the ultimate format for a federal resume. And the HR people like it. I teach it in many agencies all over the US and the world, and everybody loves it. So your resume needs to look just like this. Okay, now here are the stars. We're going to walk it through. There they are. Learn about the military spouse preference. Identify it in the USA Jobs, find announcements, analyze the announcements, make your list of keywords, write the resume, apply for jobs, save searches, do some follow-up, and try to get best qualified and more. There it is right there. And there's that little widget. You're going to see it over and over again. That's what it looks like when you have an announcement that's open for spouses. That's it, the little green wedding ring widget. And it's a military spouse preference, and we're going to show you why it is a preference. Now, this executive order 13473 is really good because it allows spouses to apply for federal positions for federal employees, not just U.S. citizens. So it's really, it's a big deal. Now, these are the spouses who qualify. The spouse who relocates with their spouse to their base with a PCS order, or the spouse of a 100% disabled service member, or an unremarried spouse of a service member who is killed in active duty. Those are the 3 categories who can qualify. And this is really great news. It used to be that that executive order was only good for 2 years at each base where you went, and now it's unlimited. So it gives you a lot more time to look for a federal job and take care of your family and house and everything. So I'm thrilled for that. Now, the big news here is that if you apply for a job with the widget, then that would mean veterans preference would not apply to that position. And that's a really big deal because veterans preference is very, very strong. So veterans preference, if you apply to a US citizen announcement, veterans preference is going to apply. And you know, those are hard to compete with. You can use military spouse 2 ways. One would be USA Jobs in the US, and then there's a little bit slightly different version used overseas. And look at this, this is our new graphic. We're saying goodbye, bye-bye, PPP-S. It's gone. The first edition of the book was written about this, but oh well. And now the military spouse preference is still here and more popular than ever on USA Jobs. So here's the email that we got saying PPP for spouses was over right here, June 2018. PPP registrants who will no longer be registered, and that's the way it is. So we're on it. And then the same week that happened, President Trump signed this executive order to help spouses get federal jobs. Boy, I was surprised and thrilled. And look at this, it's really serious. They are going to promote hiring of military spouses and improve the job announcements and add more of those widgets. And they're even getting really serious with OPM and HR and agencies. It says here that OPM will educate agencies concerning the military spouse hiring authority. Thank you. Yes, great. And then beginning in 2019, agencies will report annually to OPM the number of positions that they made available to military spouses. That's good. That's really good news. So it's going to get better. That's the little widget there on USA Jobs. That's a very nice screen on USA Jobs. So you're going to add this to your resume at the very top, that you're eligible for the order, so that The resume shows it when you upload it. And these are the documents you need to put in there for the military spouse preference: your marriage certificate, your PCS orders, and any other documents that you need to demonstrate. And this is where you upload them under the document section in your profile. And then here we go, star number 3. Let's find a good announcement. There's a little widget again. Here's a sample for a work-life specialist. And then there they are. You'll see the widgets. These are jobs that spouses can apply to, and veterans preference will not apply. Now, veterans can apply to the job because of VEOA, but veterans preference will not apply. The 5 and 10 point veterans will not rise to the top on these announcements, but veterans can apply. You can see the veteran widget is there. So here's one that says it is open to career transition people, federal employees, spouses, and veterans. And all that language over there on the right does not say that veterans preference will be applied, just a bunch of words. And then here's one for open to the public, and these are the words. It says 5 point preference who meet eligibility and qualifications required are placed above non-preference eligibles. That's really complicated words for veterans preference will rise above you. So that's the public announcements. You can apply to them, but just know veterans preference applies to these. Okay, star 4. Now time to look at the announcement more closely. Read the responsibilities to make sure you really want this job, because you're going to do it 8 hours a day if you get hired. The specialized experience is what you've got to match to the resume. This is the required experience. 1 year specialized experience includes interviewing, assessing clients, evaluating, interpreting information. And then the announcement also includes KSAs. So you've got to prove this experience in your resume. Got to read this carefully. With the questionnaire, you want to say that you're the highest level that you can. You're an expert, you supervise this, or you are the person who has consulted others. And then you have to fill something in the blank there. This is all you have to write in that box. Title of your job, name of the agency, the dates, 40 hours a week, and a couple sentences, not a whole lot of stuff. These are the key words here that I pulled out from the KSAs and from the specialized experience. And these words match the announcement. The HR person would recognize these words. And this is what you would use for the outline format. And then these are the 5 tips that you'd want to use for your federal resume. You want to use the outline format with small paragraphs, all cap keywords. Find the vacancy announcement on the OPM website, add accomplishments, and keep it to 5 pages. Take out short jobs that were just really, 2 months or 4 months. You can just take them out. So this is Bobbi's resume. She's got the military spouse preference information at the top, her objectives, her summary of skills, which features those skills that are targeted for the job. And there's the outline format right there, easy to read. Those all cap words come from the vacancy announcement. HR people love this. And 2 more skill sets, and then key accomplishments. We separate the duties from the accomplishments so they're easier to see. There's another accomplishment from a volunteer job she had in Japan. This is a little story. Now, I know it looks like a lot of content for a resume, but this resume is 5 pages. So you can add little stories right into your resume. More keywords, really good idea to study the announcement and the class standards to get those keywords in there. Now, star 7, you got to start applying for the jobs. You got to have your documents. HR people love their documents. And you got to go through a lot of steps to apply for a federal job. You see the little screen up there, 1 through 5. So you say, certify everything is true, continue to the agency. Welcome, Kathryn Troutman, here we go. And then you're going to have to check off again when you apply for the job, your military spouse preference. There it is again. They ask you like 4 times or maybe more. And so you say, yes, I am. And then you keep going. Oh, that was the screen from before. Then you need to select off your qualifications, A through D. And most of the time our clients are A, or, yeah, A is the best. Yeah, A, or the second one is education. And then check off your answers here. Again, this is another example of what it looks like to be an expert and to write where you gain this experience. Now, the documents are such a pain in the neck. They're different for every announcement. This one has a drop down. They don't flow over here automatically, so you have to do the drop down and select it out of USA Jobs, and then you hit upload at the bottom. And then here's the submit page, and they got a green check on all three: the application, the assessment, the documents. And then I acknowledge just all the supporting documents are good. Submit, yes, submit. Okay, star 8. Very important to save searches in your USA Jobs account, because if you're a serious job searcher, you want to get these announcements coming to you all the time in your email. So this is their save search button right there. It doesn't stand out very well at all, tiny little type, but you need to do this. And this is my search: administrative jobs in Florida for military spouses, GS 12. That's my search. And that's the title of my search here: Mil Spouse Admin, GS 12, Florida, daily. And then that would go into my searches. And you could have up to 9 searches. So you could have another search for Charlottesville and another search for Los Angeles, whatever you wanted. And you name them very carefully there. So mil spouse means that these are military spouse announcements, not US citizen announcements. And then you're going to get these searches coming to you every day, up to 10 searches. Then, of course, you want to follow up on your USA Jobs account, because you can see what your status is. You'll be getting emails from people. You want to find out if you're ineligible or whatever it is, and follow through. And this is what it looks like looking at your application tracking system. My first announcement there says I'm incomplete. Oh, well, I do this when I practice teaching. And then star number 10, here we are, get your application results. So you might see that you're ineligible, which is really bad news, that you're eligible, you're referred, you're invited to an interview, and maybe you're even hired. And these letters look like this here. So this email is a bad one. It says you are ineligible because you do not possess the specialized experience. Well, all right, resume didn't work. And you're not referred. Okay, that's all bad. Now this one is awesome. You have been referred to the hiring manager in Hawaii. Boy, that's a good one. Wow. And then here's the best. Congratulations on your selection for an advanced medical support assistant. Oh my gosh. Is that ever a good email? That is the best. You get emails like this, you really do. All right, there's the 2 books, Military Spouses and the Job Seeker Guide. They look alike, but they're not. Both jobs are really different. Samples of military spouses in that book and veterans in the other book. They're both really good. I wrote them both. They're great. Paulina Chen designed them. They're beautiful. And some more executive order resources you can look up to keep track of what the changes are. And congratulations on completing. The stars are lined up for military spouses. I hope you do this. I hope you get a federal job. I hope you continue to grow and have your own retirement and have your own career. So thanks very much for listening, and please get one of the books. You got to look at the samples. I'm Kathryn Troutman. Glad to have you take the webinar, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.